กายที่เธอมองเห็นว่างามสุดท้ายความเสื่อมทรามจะมาพรากไปร่วงโรยลงในสายทานยามการเวลาหมุนไปชีวิตต้องแตกสลายไม่มีเที่ยงแท้ผมเส้นงามถึงคราวร่วงไปแขนขาที่เคยว่องไวกลับไร้เรี่ยวแรงโรคภัยเฝ้าคอยคุกคามติดตามไปในทุกแห่งเกิดแก่เจ็บตายสำแดงเป็นธรรมดาหากเธอมองทุกการเกิดมาที่มีอย่างลึกซึ้ง
of his son or his family come to India up to Myanmar almost come to Thailand
Yes, but the main role is about the Silk Road. It's on the Silk Road.
About the Silk Road,
and
right?
he brought so many different things from China to Europe. So you can still find some similar part to from this period. Especially why I know so much about the Gandhara period because we have to study it. We have to do the research about it. It's part of the most important legacy that we can learn from the Silk Road history. Gandhara, and it's basically almost all destroyed by war. Like the big statues in Afghanistan. And other relics that you couldn't actually do, you couldn't actually go to the place for researching or do the study now. Because of war. It's a pity. It's a pity that they destroyed everything. And the evidence shows that we can still find some, trace on the ancient scriptures that shows Jesus what's been found. He took some, main core ideas from Buddhism during that time, and reconstruction and redirection the group of his to preach his teaching. Yes,
that's what I learned.
Yes, and that was actually true, even though the Westerns they don't admit it, but you can't deny the truth by history, right? So I think during that time it was a great time to the human beings, to the humankind, to all humankind, and I think we should pay more attention to it.
What I have learned about the Indian philosophy and religions, I have found 2 books written by the German guy, the scholars have written one called The Original Jesus, and one book is researched by the Jesus Lived in India. And these 2 books is not available in other parts of the world, but is very, very well known and very, very good, very easy to get in India. And
I see.
The historical background of this part have written even now the BBC have made Jesus as a Buddhist monk.
Yes.
Jesus was a Buddhist monk for some of the time. He was a student. To the doesn't matter Buddhism or Hinduism, because this part during this Buddhism and Brahmanism although a little bit mixing already, especially for the northern parts of India. And we have learned that about 13 years the Jesus have been into this part of land before he went back to Europe and start to get the idea But his idea at the beginning, nothing much more than the Christ. What's
He
meaning
was
the
actually
Christ?
go
The
back to
Christ,
he went back to
Jerusalem.
Canaan.
Yeah.
Canaan.
Oh.
We call it Canaan back in the for the old Israel, the ancient Israel.
Yeah.
The land of Canaan, the land of promise.
Yeah. That's why this part, I think this part is very few, but now most of the people already knew because British also have made the documentary about this, but is no one say yes or no one say no. But the knowledge is the knowledge, and anything
Yes.
can happen because those days is many 100 years, almost 2,000 years, more than 2,000 years, also more than two already, because Jesus is being announced after 544 years old after pass away of Lord Buddha.
Yes.
That means 235 Buddhist era. King Ashoka have sending missionary a lot, 9 groups. Many groups are heading into the northern of India, and that's been connecting to the Silk Road. I think it's possible that the idea and what I have learned about the Indian philosophy and religions, all part of the religion in the world right now are coming from the same original. What are the first original, very famous about religions before anything record? Zoroaster. Zoroaster is just a part of Iran and Bactria and Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Yes.
And they call themselves Persian. The people of Persian is moved into India.
And that was part of the original culture from Sumer. There
Yeah.
are so many different parts, like original, like cultural. You can trace back to the ancient period of humankind. One huge part of all the Aryan area and Europe and Middle East, it was Sumer culture, and the other one is in China, and of course the Native America. Yes, that like maybe no more than 5 or 4 parts of the original culture. Like it's a tribe that they founded in some inspired by some supernatural or like high level beings that they can create something beyond abilities, beyond mankind's abilities back in time. That was incredible. You can all find it like they were inspired by the same time, in the ancient time, almost the same time that they create something different, create something spectacular, magnificent.
I see.
Yes, more than 3 to 5,000 years ago.
That's very much like if linked to what I have one another subject is about the introduction to English literatures for the third year student.
I see.
And one idea of the startings of the Anglo-Saxon, the Anglo-Saxon?
Yes,
That's
yes.
about before British.
Before Britain, the United Kingdom founded, like for
that
they
Anglo-Saxon.
they invade the land.
Yeah, because the Anglo-Saxons is the startings of the group of the people we call Teutonics, tribe men. Teutonic tribe men is very, very somehow like this. Tribe men were fierce in battle, but they were also fond of singing and merry making. And this kinds of the historical background, very much like written in the part of the historical backgrounds about Pali literatures we have learned. Some
Okay.
of our masters have written some of the modern book. But if you're studying about the part of the historical backgrounds of Pali Tipitaka,
Yes.
there are some commons in there. Mean the
Oh,
group,
I see.
there are some commons in there, very same common. Like the peoples of the Teutonic tribe mean one, they are like beside being a mature race, they were a sinking folk, uh, and the chief man has the beers, very much like the Middle East people or the Europe people. The
The,
scope of them,
like Norway.
yeah, the scope of them uh, who sang in the evenings of the war deed after the day, this or the sage of the past mean their life ready to fight, and they already ready to enjoy the poem. But their poem, they are describing about their great hero. For example, the great hero, what are their great hero? For example, like Lord Buddha. Okay, Lord Buddha is everybody know. For example,
Yes.
like Mahatma Gandhi,
Oh,
the Mahatma Gandhi, right?
Kanti.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gandhi. When the Gandhi died, the people of India worship him as a god. Mean later on, Gandhi will become a hero first. Mean become the soul of the Indian. But after
It's
some
like a
day,
spiritual reader.
yeah, after some years, maybe some decade or some history, maybe millennium, the people will believe or worship him as a god. This kind of god we call divine. The historicals of the Teutonic tribe, very much like we are learning about the parts of the historical backgrounds of Buddhism or Pali.
Oh.
But this part, I didn't have opportunity to study much when I was a student. But when I became a visiting lecturer to the MCU, and I have most of the appointment to teach about the historical backgrounds about Buddhism and Tipitaka and parts of the English literatures, both subjects. And then I found the intermingle or some of the same common to each other. I think maybe because of this, British have opportunity to come to India. And because of the British found the ruins of holy places of Buddha, the British brought Buddhism historical background by the archaeological survey or part of the anthropology, part of the philosophy and whatever. And the British got the translation from Thailand, from Myanmar, from Sri Lanka, and brought this knowledge to the Western people again. Mean the British, the part of the transmission. Even today, the British brought Buddhism to be very significant knowledge for the mankind all over the world. Because some of most venerable from England, from America, come to ordain as Buddhist monks and learn as the Theravada Buddhism as a Thai style.
Yes.
And they brought back to the Western society. This, even some of the Western monks have said one phrase, mean one group of the word. But is a little bit shame for the our Thai people, but I don't want to hide this because it's true. He said, such a shame in a Thai society and comma, developing the country without the local Buddhist wisdom. Do you believe or not? What I have learned since I got opportunity to ordain to become a Buddhist novice and Buddhist monk, altogether 21 years. And when I disrobe because I ran out of budget and study in India, because that's why I was 20 years in India, because when I was a student, I ran out of budget, I ran out of the scholarship. I couldn't get the money. Then I came back to Thailand and asked my preceptor, so I would like to disrobe. Then I went to disrobe. Then I worked as a tourist guide. Then I got some money for studying. And sometimes I missed the class, that's why I was so long in India. But it should say that it's my luck, I got opportunity to study about English literature, and I got another chance to study in another master's in Indian philosophy and religion. Then I pick up in my PhD in Indian philosophy and religion. That's my luck. And when I got married to the Pennsylvania wife, and she wants me to stay in USA. But with my thought,
Pennsylvania.
I think that America is already developing country. America already developing country. I don't want it to be one part of that. But I want to be somehow to help my country, to develop my country, at least following to America. But when I came back to Thailand for a few years, Thai people, Thai society, copy American part, some part, but not all.
Yes, not all.
Not all, because
not all.
Thai people developing some part like the building, the part of the technologies, but Thai people didn't know the historical backgrounds of the moral of the American people.
Yes.
American people, they have another kinds of the moral or historical background. Like American people, they are like a frontier culture. If they face anything, they will forced to be over that. And they learn. But for the Thai society, we are, sabai. Have anyone heard about sabai?
Yes, sabai.
We have everything in the field, in the farm, or in the grove. Everything. We don't need struggling and smuggling and searching for anything for life. We need food. We go left and right. We can pick up anything and cook as a food,
I see.
But American people, just only one season. If they are lack of the food, they will die. Of the cold, they will die because of the too hot over there.
Wow.
The climate is too much extreme. But for the Thai people, different. But the Thai people look only developing part of the American. They grown up with the new technologies and everything. Then Thai people, okay, I want like America. But without look at the historical backgrounds of oneself. Developing copy American, but some part forget about self. That's why the Western monk have said that such a shame in the Thai society, developing the country without the local Buddhist wisdom.
Yes.
This is very, very true. But I don't want to say who's venerable is say this. But this is true. You know, when I
Yes.
disrobe, I got opportunity to follow some of these monks, the disciple of Luang Por Chah. Have you ever heard about the disciple
Oh,
of
Luang
Luang
Por
Por
Chah.
Chah? Yeah. For example, like
The
Venerable
college.
Sumedo in
Yes,
England
the college.
and Chayasaro in England or Santikaro
Yes.
in Australia
There are all
and Amaro
so
Bhikkhu,
many
all these.
schools all over the world. They built
Yeah,
the like a meditation center, a
yeah,
college, and
that's right.
some education center, something like
Yeah,
that, to
yeah,
spread Theravada Buddhism, especially the meditation,
yeah,
because the Western people, most of them they couldn't understand the wisdom from the East,
yeah,
because I think that it's a shame that the most unfortunate thing is that the Europeans, they have theorized the teaching of Jesus. It's
yeah,
like making it as a tool for
yeah,
the uh, authorization.
yeah,
Like it's not like a teaching anymore. It's because no matter Jesus, Confucian, in China, or Lord Buddha, Sakyamuni, they are
mm,
all no, they were all doing the same thing. Is
yeah,
teaching. Is
yeah,
do they were doing education, but the Western people they just theorize and weaponize everything,
yeah,
including Buddhism in
yeah,
Europe. It's like they create so many cults. It's like extreme religion.
yeah. The part of the cult you say one cult
Oh my
mean
god.
in Thailand, you know,
Yes. Yes.
in this
In
modern day
Thailand,
is in
do
Thailand
they
have
have cult in
shown
Thailand?
the cults is broke from the old traditional
Ooh.
Theravada Buddhism in Thailand.
Wow, I don't know that.
Wow,
What is that? What? Why?
there are many. There are many.
Why?
There are many,
This
but
is the first time. I have no idea.
I
They're
don't want to
cult in
mention. I don't
Thailand.
want to mention the ethnic group. The
Yes.
the cults created from the old traditional Buddhism, but they still call themselves
How?
Buddhists. But
How? But how? I don't
you know,
understand.
they create a lot of problem in the Thai society.
กายที่เธอมองเห็นว่างามสุดท้ายความเสื่อมทรามจะมาพรากไปร่วงโรยลงในสายทานยามการเวลาหมุนไปชีวิตต้องแตกสลายไม่มีเที่ยงแท้ผมเส้นงามถึงคราวร่วงไปแขนขาที่เคยว่องไวกลับไร้เรี่ยวแรงโรคภัยเฝ้าคอยคุกคามติดตามไปในทุกแห่งเกิดแก่เจ็บตายสำแดงเป็นธรรมดาหากเธอมองทุกการเกิดมาที่มีอย่างลึกซึ้ง